What do you mean he doesn't draw a card and then discard a card? His name is Loot.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian, and today I'm playing with Loot, Exuberant Explorer, who lets you play additional lands each turn and can tap and pay 6 mana to put a creature into play from the top 6 cards of your library, but only if you have more lands than that card's mana cost, well, less than or equal to the mana cost of the card. That means that you want to put tons of lands into play, turn your creatures into lands using cards like Ashaya, and then bring out the biggest, scariest green creatures you can. And because we are also, playing extra lands every turn, we can just cast these big, awesome creatures and the things that help support them. In this deck, you'll notice there's a lot of land-based ramp and landfall abilities. Starting on turn 1, we've got the regular suite of green ramp, followed by the landfall things and a couple more pieces of ramp on 2, like our new rampant growth. And then the things that fetch lands, let us play creatures or cheat them in for free. More things that let us play more lands each turn by playing them off the top of our deck, doubling our lands, milling and recurring lands, fetching them straight from the deck. There are so many different ways for us to keep getting more lands for Loot and all of the other big creatures in this deck. And of course, like any self-respecting giant green deck, we are running the Hoofs, the Vorinclexes, and things like Nissa, because if you're looking for more lands, the more you have, the stronger she gets. Both this Nissa and Nissa are both just such good planeswalkers when you're running mono green. So let's take Loot into the queue and see if we can stick the landing. Tatiova, Benthic, Druid, a landfall draw card, gain a life. Just like us, gonna be a lot of lands in their deck. My deck has so many lands, so Loot always has something to play. I felt like adding significantly more than 40 lands to the deck did make it more consistent, but it was also the result of me having these really awkward starts where I would somehow, with 45 lands in the deck, keep getting 2 land openers and be like, this isn't what I want for Loot. Oh, look at all that beautiful, beautiful ramp. Beautiful, beautiful ramp. I'm just counting out my mana here, don't mind me. I'm gonna go for the Overlord of the Hauntwoods. I had enough to activate Loot there, but at most you'd be able to get a 4-drop. Okay, they countered it, I'll swing for 2. An actual factual counterspell, not too surprising. When you're playing a Simic deck, you have access to good Simic cards. Settled Wilds, they get themselves another land. Flare of Cultivation can also get me some lands. I want to make sure I'm tapping my non-forests first. I'm going to sacrifice this Llanowar Elf. I don't need it. Swing in with the forest. And I could either play Kaslam, but come on! I'm playing a Loot deck! I want to activate Loot. I got 6 mana! I want to do the Loot thing. Ugh. Hawk. Okay. With this ability on the stack, come on, Kogla! Oh, that's a prime time. I'll take that. Cavern of Souls and Nykthos. I want even more mana. You might be a 6/6, but I'm more powerful than you could ever be. Let's grab the tracker. Play the land. I'm actually just straight up activating Loot right here. And there's the Hoof. Don't need to animate another land. Just attack in. Sure, I'll grab some basics. And this shall be their end. Sometimes you gotta activate Loot pre-combat. That's why. GG, Tatiova. Helen Planar Trailblazer. This is the Foundations Kellen. He's mono red, but he can gain additional abilities, additional text as the game goes on. He's very aggressive, and I assume this is going to be a mono red aggro deck. They have a 1 mana 2/1, and said 1 mana 2/1 can get them Impulse Draws, and then become a 3/2 with Double Strike. He also changes his typing. Human Fairy Scout becomes a Human Fairy Detective, becomes a Human Fairy Rogue. That's supposed to be him going to Karlov Manor, and then him going to Thunder Junction. Goofy card. They played a land first, which makes me think they're not going to level him up here. Well, maybe they will, just to get him to be a double striker so he would beat Loot in combat. I guess Beast. Probably should have played the lands in the other order, just to make it look like I had something green being held up. Melt through! I think that makes damage not go away, right? A very good shock. I will remove the perpetual effects. So they just used 2 spells there, Melt Through, Burst Lightning, to kill Loot. And now Kellen's getting that Impulse Draw swinging in. I'm hoping I get a land so I can play Vorinclex, because a 6/6 against a mono red deck is a very nice blocker. It would admittedly just, like, trade with Kellen. It could be worse. Alright, I did not get it. So I'll play the Topiary Stomper, who won't be able to block, but does get me a land. Mishra's Research Desk. This is like a mono-red Impulse deck they've built. I noticed they played Ren's Resolve. They've got the Research Desk. I'm wondering if they have cards like Laelia that also care about these cards being put into exile. Ooh, who's getting haste? The Bone Crusher's getting haste. Yeah, that's more damage I can't stop. Why isn't Kellen swinging in? Oh, maybe they thought this could block. He can't. Maybe they just really don't want to exile off the top. Maybe. I got to 6 instead of 5. And I think Primeval Titan is even better. This is going to get me an additional 2 lands into play, which is going to make it so the Topiary Stomper can attack and block. It also gets me whatever lands I want. How about Nykthos, because I have Devotion, and Castle Garenbrig, so I can play more giant creatures. And I'll swing in with the Topiary Stomper. They don't have 3 mana, so they can't give Kellen the big double strike here. Cards going into exile. This one's only until end of turn, right? End of your next turn. Okay. So they got Screaming Nemesis. Winter Moon! My non-basics. If Screaming Nemesis is dealt damage, it reflects that damage onto something else. I'm gonna untap Nykthos. Yeah, I think Nykthos here and just go for big manas. More non-basics. I'll just start grabbing more basics then. I will activate this. Bestow upon you. Play a land. Pay the 2. Getting the 2 gets me 2 more lands. We're just grabbing basics now. Oh, what's that? A land? Gets me 2 more. And now I'm out of those. And I will swing in with both of these. If you want to block that with the Screaming Nemesis, go for it. If only we had an Amulet. Oh yeah, we could go take every single land out of our deck if we had Amulet. So Screaming Nemesis is actually only going to be dealt 3 damage here, because you only need to assign lethal if you've got trample. And then they can choose to reflect that damage to my face so I can never gain life. Or they can choose to assign it to, like, insect token. Okay, so now that I've been dealt damage by this ability, I can no longer gain life. Ever. There's some life gain in this deck. Screaming Nemesis is scary. Oh, you're talking about in multiplayer? Oh, because you could, like, attack player A, they block with a 1/1, and then reflect that damage onto player B. So they can never gain life. Yeah, that's rude. Another card saying I cannot gain life, and it's also going to deal damage to me based on my non-basic lands. I had 6, so that dealt 6 to me. That is quite a bit of damage. But can they survive? They could Fury a bunch of 1/1s. Yeah, it goes bing, bang, bang, bang. My 1/1s! That's not very fun funs. 3 prime times. Welcome to green decks. They're just like that. Hey, Kellen. Blinks. I think they know that I've got lethal. Between all of the trample damage here, the fact that I can animate this Lair to Hydra, if I make that the one card I untap, I could even bop one of their blockers to reduce their blockability. They don't know about the Cityscape Leveler, but I do. That's gonna be game. GG, Kellen. Lagrella, the Magpie, and Enter the Battlefield Commander. Usually getting lots of nice, powerful Enter the Battlefield and exiling our cards. Lagrella is very good for blinking things. Because she makes her stuff bigger, she can remove your things temporarily, and combined with certain cards can make it so your cards are permanently removed, as long as you get the order right. I will ramp. The classic card, Rampage Growth. Now in Arena, thanks to Foundation's Jumpstart. Spirited Companion, one good buppy. I'm going to go for Land Lookout. Next turn, planning to play Pawk, Garenbrig, Loot. Actually, Henge Loot, I guess. Yeah, I think he'll be big enough. Gateclave Apparition, that's totally fine. This will be able to remove Pawk later. Fine Henge. Bringing out Loot. I'll go for this Vista so I can activate Pawk on the next turn as well. If they go for Lagrella here, I think they would go Skyclave Apparition. Oh, okay. They're just straight up Swords to Plowsharing on Loot. Okay. Sorry, on Pawk. I have enough mana to replay Loot. Normally, I would leave my commanders under Lagrella, but I'm not going to here because I have Henge in just a frankly absurd amount of mana. Loot. Little cutie palooty. Nice. Okay. See, that was a good turn. It's turn 5. I've got, like, what, 20 mana? It's fine. Oh, gosh, that's a Displacer Kitten. Any non-creature spell will let them blink. Essence Flux, so they will blink this and this, getting back that Spirited Companion. And let's find out what Skyclave Apparition is targeting. It's the Scythe Cat Cub. That goes to Exile Forever. They're drawing lots of cards. Lagrella now exiling the Skyclave Apparition and the token, the loot, the Lumra. What's it gonna be? The only thing that I might have is like future protection against that Skyclave Apparition is a Shia. Move my commander to the command zone? Yeah, because I have like infinite mana. A Shia. Don't you love having all the mana in the world? And then some. The big bear. I have 6. We attack first, since it has vigilance. You can go into random token. Upborn Tyrant! More lands. So these are now all lands, and Skyclave Apparition says non-land. That's what I like here. Not only are we getting landfall, it counts towards lands for loot, doing all sorts of stuff. So Reflector Mage can put a Shia back into my hand, and then they'd be able to exile like loot under the Skyclave Apparition. And Lagrella doesn't care if things are land. She's just a hater. Yeah, Lair is a very nice find. If they clear my board somehow, I can just dump a ton of mana into this. They also have to be mindful about, like, Reflector Mage will get me Enter the Battlefields again. That's why they don't want to hit Vaultborn. They don't want to hit Lumra. I think Ashaya was the right choice, no matter what. I have a hoof in hand. Okay, I have Nissa, Ascended Animist in hand. And that's +12/+12 in trample. That's pretty good. GG, Lagrella. Shalai, Voice of Plenty. Plenty of protection for all of their permanents. I got some turn 1 ramp, that's pretty nice. Shalai, I think, could either be a Prison deck, could be a Scales deck, or could just be general Selesnya good stuff. Nothing wrong with that, if you are somebody who enjoys a fair bit of Selesnya, as I do. And also, my cat just came into the room, rubbed against my leg. You're good? Yeah, she's about to bite my foot. No. I will pick you up, girl. Hello, good morning, young lady. Would you like to be in the video? She would like to be in the video. She would like to be in the video. What a nice young lady. Scrap shows up, is cute. Purrs a little. Move that out of the way. Scrap, sit in front of the camera, please. You think they're on the Scales train? I mean, Ranger class makes me think so. Since that puts +1/+1 counters, as does Shalai. So far, the only white mana they have is the Halfling. So they could cast Shalai here. Could you please see Scraps? Here she is. This is my cat, Scraps. She likes to get in the way. Okay, Elvish Archdruid. That's for elves. You're not an elf. You're not an elf either. Nobody here's elves. I'm going to use the Verdant Catacombs to get another mana. Full cost Overlord of the Hauntwoods. And pass. Probably going to use the Haywire Might on Ranger class if they level it up too much. What's this about a loot suit? I'm playing loot today. Yeah, she's purring and she is giving the... just the worst face at the camera. Come on, Scraps. I know you're cute. You're very elegant. Right now she's just smelligant. I've got a lot of devotion to green on that Nykthos. What did they name on Cavern? Angel. Okay, cool, for Shalai. Double uncounterable Shalai. I promise I don't have any counter spells in this deck. I know, it's kind of mind-blowing, right? No counter spells in a mono green deck. Who would even brew like that? July coming into play. They've got 1 extra mana floating. They can use that on Ranger class. And they still have some mana from the Archdruid if they want to, I don't know, spend 1 to do nothing. What did I get? Augur bottom lets me play lands off the top. I will start with the Henge, making sure not to attack Nykthos, because now Nykthos has so much devotion. Augur of Autumn. Lets me play these lands off the top. Lets me play creatures off the top. Lets me get even more cards off the top. I'm gonna shuffle away that Grazer. I'm just trying to make this Hydra extra chunky. And I think we're doing an incredible job of it. Okay, so I can't actually see my Hydra, but I think I triggered it enough this turn. The cat is directly in front of the Hydra. I can see the Birds of Paradise, and I can see Haywire Might, and I can see the edge of the Overlord, which I just had attack. It's a 32-32. Thank you, Twitch chat. Scratch, do you see that? It's a big Hydra. Big Hydra. We love the powers of 2 here. The chunky thing. Don't you dare blame the cat. Blame the cat for what? Being in the way? I would never. Except for all the times that I do. Wow, that Nykthos has devotion. Ozolith lets them get twice as many counters, but I don't know. I feel like even activating that, putting extra counters onto the Dusk Legion Duelist, they're running a Scales deck, but they're also just running some good stuff in here, but it's not quite enough good stuff to contest with the stuff we got, which is to say the world's chunkiest Hydra, the world's funkiest, chunkiest, most amazing Hydra of all time. I was gonna get that thing to like 400 power this turn. Nobody was gonna stop me. GG, shall I? Yarok the Desecrated. This is going to be an enter the battlefield doubling commander. It's got some death touch, got some lifelink, and hopefully our very fast start here will be very, very helpful. I've got 3 mana on turn 2, so I could bring out 6 and start getting more lands by milling myself. I need more lands so I can play more lands, so I can get more scoots. Well, that's also a good land. I could go Hawk, Lair of the Hydra here, but I like setting up the 6 to attack in before they're super established on the board, because a lot of the enter the battlefield things you can double with Yarok are really strong. Things that kill, exile, steal, make you discard, draw your cards. You can do it all in these colors. All right, and I have enough mana, I think, if they play a land next turn, to get out Yarok. Swing in with 6. I did definitely mill a land here. Ooh. Springheart Nantico is pretty cool. I think I'll just go for Scoot land, get a bug token. Cool. Scraps, you are so freaking cute. Yes, yo. Ridiculous. Ridiculously in the way. Oh, did you need me to brush you? Okay. Where's your brush? Perhaps, you know, I'm trying to make a video right now. You make it very difficult. It's part of your charm. You're a charming girl. Thanks. Thanks. sweetie. I could attack in with 6 to get a land, but I don't think I want to. Hey, girl. She's batting at the stuff on my desk to get me to brush her. I think I have Hoof next turn if we keep our Devotion. Since those Scoot Swarms add Devotion for Nykthos, the more copies I can get, the better for that. She wants to fight and get brushed. Visualize what my setup looks like. The Scraps blocks the screen. Okay, main monitor that I'm looking at right here. That's where the game is. Second monitor, that's where Twitch chat is. Bye, girl. Thanks for coming in and being cute. And then, like, I have to push the keyboard back to make room for Scraps. And right behind the keyboard, at the base of the monitor, is where all my, like, pens and trinkets are. I don't have a third monitor. My third monitor, I guess, is my phone. They could have a counter spell here with all this mana. I guess we'll find out. If they do, they do. Craterhoof Behemoth. They do not. Swinging with everything. Craterhoof. A good way to win in green decks. The Scarab God. This could either be Dimir Zombies or just Dimir Control. I don't know which. I'm gonna double mulligan here because I didn't have anything for too many turns. That just didn't feel good. Oh, Verdant Catacombs. Nice. Let's get a turn 1 Haywire Might out. Yeah, the Scarab God reanimates things from either player's graveyard, turning them into 4/4 zombies. And also, being one of these gods from Amonkhet, it doesn't have Indestructible, but it's got something pretty cool. Got the ability to, if it's killed, just go back to hand. I did have the choice there if I want to hit their Mind Stone. Attacking Ramp is oftentimes good. Hi, Karn. Karn can make a Karnstruct, or it can just get some card advantage. Would you like Phyrexian Arena or Drowned Catacomb? I'll give you Arena. East. Land, land, land. More lands. More lands, more loots. And I care more about hitting this Mind Stone than hitting a Phyrexian Arena. Them playing the Karn, by the way, tells me they're not Dimir Zombies. Good old classic Dominaria Karn. Yep. Throat Gophers or Sheldred's Edict. I'll give you the Edict. Killing loot, or you can activate. And the Plunder from Down Under. I will drop Disciple, keeping Ashaya, and giving them a random card from my deck. Nissa. I want to get my own Planeswalker Nasty Girl out. Start spitting out these horrors. Oh, the horrors. Playing creatures against a control deck? Tough. Playing something that gets like 2-for-1 value? Sure, sounds great. Is this your favorite Nissa? This is Nissa Hoof. They get that go for the throat. Well, you want to destroy my Phyrexian horror? Whose face is the real horror? Wow, no bully! We'll go to attack Karn. They killed us? Sure do! Could destroy the arena. I'd rather get another big thing. Cool. Now I got 7-7 and an 8-8. You thought Loot was kind of cute? He is kind of cute. I have a land. Is Loot a fox? Loot's a beast noble. He might be a baby Fomori. He might be related to them. We don't really know. Okay. Do I think they have Tails End? Well, this is holding priority despite its uncounterability. I'm trying to decide if I want to -7 and try to go for lethal here. YOLO. Could just also be like kill spells or nothing. Neat. Gaming. GG Scarab God. Aragorn, the Uniter, a 4-color commander that cares about the colors of spells you cast. Red gets you damage to your opponent's face, green lets you grow one of your creatures, white gets you a token, and blue scries 2. And I have Ramp. Delighted Halfling. Ooh, Esper Sentinel. That makes me not want to use this, like, Cultivate or this Rampant Growth. If I play Loot here, I can play an additional land. I think I'll go for Rampant Growth and paying the Esper Sentinel tax. Ooh, a Johnny. So this is just a white card, but it's a really good white card. If this cat dies, he flips and he's real scary. Am I willing to let them get a card? Yeah, I'm gonna let them draw a card so I can cultivate here. Girl's got a ramp. Loot's got a loot. No cat token. I'm not blocking you. Johnny, stop trying to kill your own brother. It's weird. Huh, I actually have enough mana to Field of Ruin first. Nah, I don't need to. Lumra! We mill, and then bring any lands in the graveyard back. Got myself a fancy little 10-10. Does Loot let me draw, then discard? You'd think based on his name, that's what he would do, right? I think his name is just Loot to be like a pun. Looking at what's in my graveyard, because I believe if I sacrifice this land, I'll be able to turn into something from my graveyard. Alright, that's not a land, so I'm gonna shuffle. Yeah, okay, cool. Delirium is now active. Okay, I have to do this because I didn't manually leave up green. That's on me. Overlord of the Hauntwoods from the top of the deck. From the top rope. And You know what, Johnny, you can flip over. I'm actually fine with that. You want to flip? Do it. They're like, oh, you're letting me? I'm letting you. Aragorn is a red permanent other than Johnny, so as Andy joins up, they make a cat. They can deal 3 to any target. Oracle of Moldiah, deleted halfling. Who's getting bopped? My face? Okay, Oracle. Going for the Domry. Dang. I will attack you at face. You at a Johnny. Why is it Johnny's 0 ability? It doesn't even just, like, count cats? I don't know. I don't know why his ability is like that. Oh, hi, Tulane. Tulane is going to get a triple trigger off of Aragorn, which is actually a sextuple trigger? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Is it worth it to ruin to shuffle away the castle? I'm considering doing it, hitting their Seachrome coast. But right now I'm holding up the mana to see if I need to turn my Shifting Woodland into something. In order to, like, I don't know, stay alive. We'll see. They couldn't attack. No, because Lumber's dummy thick. That's a good one. Ooh. Fighting things, drawing cards, fighting things, drawing cards, fighting things, drawing cards. I'm actually going to, tap you? Actually, do I care more about casting things off the top or playing more lands? The potential of casting things off the top, so I don't want you tapped. Because I can cheat something in then. Galta. Okay. I'll tap you and the Vaultborn. Actually, you and the Vorinclex. Just to get in a 12-12, to draw more cards. That's a good snake. Sure, put it into play for free. Still got enough mana for 6. And I'll swing in for 15. Go Celtics! Yeah, go Seas! Yeah, I'm happy to say we're playing against the Grizzlies tonight, which means Marcus Smart is gonna be in TD Garden. Oh, I'm so excited to see him coming home. And by home, I mean the TD. I think Marcus Smart's like from Texas. Doesn't matter. Still love him. We're playing green. I'm wearing green. I'm taking game actions. Their lands are getting super tapped down. They can get tons of extra lands into play. Tulane is Tulane. Johnny is a nasty boy. Why is this card? I'm just, like, trying to get enough trample damage while Lumber's just being a big old dummy thick bear. Swords to Plowshares on the Vorinclex, saying, oh my god, stop. Get more 1/1s. Gains me some life. Mm-hmm. The BTE gets them 2 more mana. And Johnny is a nasty boy. I let him flip thinking like, oh, I'll be able to get through. I'll get a whole bunch of damage. Big Tulane. I wonder if they'll swing with Tulane, put Burning Tree Emissary back in hand. Oh, Trample! Yeah, that's something. Forces me to block. Just a bit. Yeah, what do you have? 46? Uh-huh. I don't even know how many creatures. 10 to my face. All right. Tulane is working. Gonna work it. All right, what do we got? Do I prevent enough damage to survive? I don't think so. I think Johnny's the mistake here. Cool. GG. Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. I played against one of these right before I started recording, too. It was a different person playing it. This is Grixis Control, sometimes with a Dragons or Discard sub-theme. I've got... Ramp. Works for me, I love Ramp. Army of Bamboo Groves, bringing a forest into play. Probably not playing Loot. Probably playing Overlord of the Hauntwoods for its impending cost. Loot's not doing anything for me here. Loot says, I need you to have 6 mana. Now we get to wait a couple turns for this to become a big creature. Ghostly Pilfer. If I cast my commander, they draw a card. I think I want to wait until I have value off of that. Have your card draw. And eat it. Get him for 1, Kamiya Bamboo Groves. Loot's like, you had no lands to play. We can still hang, though, right? They are clinging the land out of their graveyard to draw a card. They've got all the colors up. Looks like a kill spell. Power word kill. What do you mean Loot's not an angel? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's a sweet little angel. Unlike Puck, who is a monster and should not be here. One more turn. This will become a big old dude. What? I don't think Power Word Kill should be able to kill Puck because he's a sweet little angel. They ate him. And then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god. I love making references to dated bad movies. What do we have? Big stuff? Big stuff. Primeval Titan, grabbing a couple of funky little lands here. I feel the Cavern of Souls, they're a control deck. And Shifting Woodland, because things are going to end up in my graveyard. And I will name Beast. I could also name Dinosaur, because, like, dinosaurs. You're saying, how dare I call Trolls 2 just a bad movie? Troll 2 isn't just a bad movie. It's one of the best worst movies. And it's a really weird one. Sure is board wipes around here. What would they discard for their ill-timed explosion? An amazing movie entirely by accident. Yeah, I mean, it's got monsters turning people into things and then eating them. It's a very goopy movie. Not to be confused with a Goofy movie. That's something different. I feel like just Galta. Neat. Nilbog is goblin backers. Well, that's because the family that is the goblins, the ones that are turning people into food and eating them, they appear like humans until they don't, right? It has been a long time since I've actually watched Troll 2. I didn't want to get hit by my 12-12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite enough to kill them. I think with the lair. Leave the nightmare. We'll try to get things on the battlefield this turn. Yeah, they would have been able to give something -5, -5. Are trolls the same as gremlin? Yes, in that movie, yes. But they're not they're the same as goblins, but they're not the same as gremlins. Gremlins is a different movie franchise. Gremlins is, like, actually great, speaking of which. You know, we're heading into the holiday season. Wouldn't you like to watch something that's got some holiday cheer and some holiday fear in it? You should go watch Gremlins, and then you should watch Gremlins 2, the new batch. They're both great. They both bring great joy and delight to all of the young people. It made me afraid of animals as a child, and it's clearly good for everyone. Yeah, watch Gremlins 1 and 2. I don't know what the blues were. Cling? They'd be able to gain some life, right? There's creatures in graveyards. Oh, Withering Torment. Puts them to 1. Don't crack that fetch land. Or do. I'm not your mom. They bounced the token and made me exile the Stomper out of my hand. Trying to decide if I attack with everything or if I want to activate loot. Alright, so they have 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now everybody has to go in. You watch The Substance? The Substance is a very good movie. Also a very gross movie. If you like body horror and watching a woman suffer, The Substance is fantastic. And so is loot. GG, Nicol Bolas. Helga Skittish Seer. Helga is the frog that makes so much mana, but you can only use it to cast things that have 4 or more mana in their cost. Or X-cost spells, that works too. Your Hydras and your big geese. Helga's also just really, really good. Especially good if they had turn 1 ramp, which thankfully they didn't. Loot coming down on turn 2 is cool. Helga coming down on turn 2 is terrifying. I want to save these fetch lands both to move cards off the top of my deck for Oracle and Courser of Krufix, and also to get more triggers from the Scythe Cat Cub. So here comes you. We're going to be doing a lot of different doubles here. Meow meow. Whoops, I meant to order those the other way. I'll do it correctly this time, don't worry. Yeah, we want to do +1 and then double. There we go. Elvish Norn is going to turn off all of my landfall. Seriously, bro? Seriously, bro? Alright, do I want to play lands, activate loot? Yeah, I'll just look at lands on the top. There wasn't. There weren't. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, lady! Dang it, Elish Norn. This is the second time I've seen an Elish Norn and Helga. So Elish Norn does not actually impact Helga's ability. This is just a good card and it stops a lot of other people from getting stuff. They got 2 lands off of Solemn Simulacrum. Got themselves a fetch here. Land. Land. I could either play Chasm or I could go for Loot activation. I think I'm gonna go for the Loot. But I'll do it on their turn. Since the things that I would care about really getting pre-combat are all enter the battlefield based. Chulane, kind of like a Helga too. Going to be getting them even more things. Put into play, put into hand. They draw cards, gain life. Draw cards, put lands into play. You can go pseudo-infinite off these two. That's going to get them 2 lands. Alright, I'm just going to go for loot now while they just have 1 mana up. 1 mana up for now. Overlord doesn't get a 10 to the battlefield, but it does have an on-attack ability. Disciple of Frailes, I could use to eat a creature. Oh, no, I can't because it's an enter the battlefield. Yeah, I'll just activate loot. Vaultborn does not get its enter the battlefield, but it is the biggest creature I got here. Swinging in. I wonder if they'll block, like, Norn and Cultivator to kill Overlord. I was hoping to hit lands on top. Just to also be able to cast Chasm. But they could have a counterspell. That's part of why I want to activate loot over casting things. The good news is they are down to 6. The bad news is they could... This next turn might take a while. I've definitely taken like 20-minute long turns with Helga and Chulane in play where you're just sitting there like... So do you have anything anywhere you need to be? No. Popping off. We'll see if they get a landfall thing here, especially with the Oracle. Which enchanter will be able to destroy both Courser of Kruphix and Overlord of the Hauntwoods, since they're enchantments? We know they have a Cyba Siphoner, which would allow them to grab an instant or sorcery from their graveyard. If one goes in their graveyard, if they have like a Swords to Plowshares or anything like that, they'd be able to cast it, bring it back, and cast it again. Some on-cast trigger removal. We can always hope. I am going to start by trying to cast Nissa. Nissa did resolve. Wondering why I was starting by casting her. It's because if she got countered, I'd also be able to, like, turn the land into something from the graveyard. Because Shifting Woodland would get that. Activate Loot. We already know what's on top. Foreign Collects. Don't get the Enter the Battlefield. Don't need the Enter the Battlefield. We're gonna give it the old Flippy Dippy. And why aren't you letting me do anything here? Okay, that's fine. I would have tapped the Force for mana, but it didn't let me respond. Because of course, why would it ever let me tap things for mana with a Cyclonic Rift there? I would have probably replayed Loot. They could also recast it. They also have a counter spell, Flare of Denial, which can be free. They also have Tulane, who is able to put Cyba Siphoner back into hand. I would say that they have a lockout here, with 2 different spells in the hand that they can put into graveyard, and the ability to stop me from getting any of my Enter the Battlefields. Also there's a Remand. I'd say I'm locked out here. I'd say that they have the win. It's just gonna take them a while to get there. So I'm going to concede. GG, Helga. As I said, she's scary. And you're rude, Elishnorn. It's another Helga deck. These are all great cards to have in hand, but I want to be doing something on turn 1 or 2. I'll take a turn 2 Bristly Bill. That seems pretty nice. Hello, Helga. We ran into one of these before that got everything rolling. They had their Helga, their Tulane, and a Norn that bodied me. Oh, when did Avacyn Restored come out? I want to say it was like 2013? I remember it was one of the years that I made a Magic the Gathering dress. But that's all I remember for it. It was 2012. Cool. I made a bunch of dresses out of Magic the Gathering cards, like 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. Those all sound right. At least right enough. I will play the Boseiju here. Get myself some funky triggers. Play Loot. For more triggers. And get that second landfall trigger from Nissa. That got me an Elf, the Disciple of Freyalise. And I'm going to Cultivate. For Bristly Bill and Nissa, get even more triggers. Not that I can use that last green mana. Swingin'! We're being aggressive. Next turn, I'll have enough mana to activate Bristly Bill or Loot. And depending on what I do, I guess? No, I don't think Galta Stampede Tyrant will be worth it. I don't have cards that I really want to, like, commit to cheating into play. This is one of those cards that's really cute to hit off loot if you have a bunch of stuff in hand, though. Because then it's just like, blop. I think we're just going to do more Bill. Sometimes Bristly Bill just outshines your commander by being awesome. Yeah, a bomb 2-mana commander. It's like a pretty good alternate commander for this, too. I think I want the Scoots, land... Get all this mana floating. I got life to give. See what Nissa finds on that second landfall. Ooh, Oracle. I was going for this Blossom and Tort, though. Mailing a land, getting some more landfall. With that extra floating mana, play the Oracle of Moldiah. Oh, look at that, a land. The lands are calling and the lands are falling. Goreclaw might be giving them a turbo discount, but I got turbo damage. Nice. Okay, Helga. Let's see what you can do. It's gonna be a lot. This is like all or nothing right here. Helga's already tapping for 3. A lot of their big creatures will cost, like, no mana. See that? 2 mana, 12/12. Yeah, between Helga, Nylea, and Goreclaw's discounts and ramp. Okay, they're tapping Helga. Big monkey. Who's the monkey going to kill? Could trade with Bill, could just kill loot. They kill Bill. Scoot's still threatening lethal. We know they have the Kellen available to cast. More mana off that Flooded Strand. Well, they have to crack it open, get the fetch into the shock. Oh, they let a mana burn! Nylea swings in. I'll block with the Scooty Booty. Norn wouldn't save them here. I already have these. Now, an Aetherize? That would do it. Which is why I'm going to get my triggers first. This always seems so, like... It's not what I want to be doing, because it just feels like I'm kind of wasting their time. But it is the right thing to do. So long as they are holding up mana. Settle, Aetherize. They don't have Cyclonic Rift mana, at least. Yeah, so we want to get all these bugs in play. Alright, that'll actually make a difference. So Ashaya is going to turn some of these into lands. There's the non-tokens into lands. Oh, 7 mana Norn. Yes, 7 mana Norn does not come out at instant speed on this mana, though. I'm sorry, I can't trust a Helga deck. I promise this is not game action addiction. This is you are running blue or white. And I'm scared of that. Okay. Go to combat. That seems good. What you got? Bear's Protection. Do I need more lands? Not right now. I mean, it is a land, but like, you know what I mean. Alright, the good news is I'm only attacking in with like a dozen things here. If we were attacking in with 200 Scoot Swarms, it would individually play an animation for every single one of them hitting. So just, you know, count your blessings, that's not happening. The bugs are happening. Bugs, yep, bugs is bugging. Look at a bug. I've hit the token cap. Sure, green. Protection, we still get the trigger from the Tort. We'll take the Misty Rainforest. And this will just, you saw it like, you know, off the side of the screen. This will just resolve, like, there's no more tokens being made. I'll eat a cookie while I wait. Cookie time! Okay, it's done playing those animations. And now it's their turn. The Ashaya will protect us, mostly, partly, from a Cyclonic Rift. These things would all get obliterated, but whatever. Easy enough to rebuild. Endray's Forerunners sure does give more mana to Helga, since she has Vigilance here. They do not get enough damage to make... like, even a hoof here? Normally, by the way, this would be like, oh my god! It's an Enray's Forerunners into a Crater Hoof Behemoth! They have over 100 damage! That's cool. I have 236 untapped Scoot Bugs. Please don't make me block. I want to eat my cookie. I said please! Okay, one moment. I'm just making a couple fat stacks over here. Couple extra here, couple extra here. Oh, the stack wholesale disappeared. Yeah. That seems good. Alright. They made me block. Damage resolves. One mana fog next turn. That's not a possibility right now. Okay, well, it is. There's like a weird, I think, Convoke fog, but nobody would be running it. One mana fog. The card called Fog is coming to Arena. On Tuesday next week. Pog gets Fog. Unpog! Tameo Turbo Fog's getting even more Turbo and even more Fog. They're still assigning damage right now. Nashi flashing and fogging. Amy, you don't think I win this game? I mean, the client might win this game. If my opponent's computer crashes trying to assign blockers. We already had fog? Yeah, off of Tome of the Infinite. Will I be streaming on Tuesday for Pioneer Masters release? I'm still trying to decide. So I usually take Tuesday off, and Pioneer Masters is a set release, and I usually stream on set release days. But it's Pioneer Masters, which isn't like a set. Are you roping me? Oh my gosh, you big baby. Anyways, I'm considering it. Someone's salty. Oh, look at me at Teferi's protectioned. I don't feel like it. You made me assign blockers. So yeah, I can't promise I'll be doing a stream, because I like having a day off a week. What I might do is I might do like a non-magic stream on Monday. I installed Transformers War for Cybertron. If anyone wants to hang out with me and my best friend Megatron, maybe I'll save it for the Christmas stream. No, I think the Christmas stream's gotta be Donkey Kong 64. I've heard War for Cybertron is a good game. Oh! It passed. The combat is resolving. The game is struggling. They ran out of timeouts, by the way, if anybody's wondering why it passed through. Dang, those are some seriously good graphics. It's cool that animations can run out your timer. Yeah, it's really cool. Has it been 169 yet? Do I need to close and reopen Magic Arena? Oh, okay. Die, Kellen! I'm killing Kellen so they can't assign blockers. No. Don't get a land! Okay, fine. They got a land. Yeah, I remember the Hearthstone deck that would time people out with animations. Personally, I was a fan of Yogg-Saron Chaos. When they made it to Yogg-Saron dying stopped the chain, I was so mad. More scoots! Will delete attacking tokens? It just doesn't make new ones. And finally, they die. All right, great. How long did that take? Too long. Too long. How do you get mana foils? Oh, are you talking about the Llanowar Elf art? Okay, so that Llanowar Elf and any of the other ones, if you go to craft or on your collection, or you can do this also by right-clicking, and you go to a card that has one of those alternate arts. So let's say Day of Judgment, I think, has one. This thing. So see how there's the anime alt art for it? You can craft the anime alt art. As long as you have a copy of the Foundations version of the card to apply the style to, then you can do that. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Loot did incredibly well today. It took me a lot of fiddling with this deck to get it where I wanted it. I found that when I first built this deck, I had the problem of the ramp and the payoff was too good, so I never actually was activating loot. And so I swapped things around a little bit. And now it feels like you actually do want to activate loot and force your opponent to remove him, because if they don't, you're putting some really good stuff into play. While I was recording this video, I think I lost 2 games out of 12, which is pretty darn good, I would say. That is the exact kind of win rate that justifies some mono green goodness, because mono green was already good, and it has a lot of great ways to end games. Your Nisses, your Kratos, you've got the broken cards like Mythweaver, Pawk, and of course, land-based ramp with a way to get around counter spells. Really, really strong. If you're looking for my deck list, it's in the description below. And if you'd like to suggest a commander, just as this was a suggested commander, please let me know. Please leave a comment. Just say like, hey, Amy, I'd love to see you brew blank. Right now, I'm mostly looking at commanders that were from Foundations, Foundations Jumpstart, and of course, the upcoming Pioneer Masters, which is coming out on Tuesday. Yes, I think that probably got mentioned during that very rambly Helga game, which... Hey, at least the game ended, right? That's all I can ask for, is that the game actually ended. And I got a win! Mostly. Having to wait like 4 minutes for the win makes it less of a win, but it's still a victory. To me. And to Arena. Counts as a win for my dailies. Thank you so much for watching, and have a brawlful day!